Good afternoon from St. Marteen. This afternoon we are taking our American Airlines Dash 800 over to its hub in Miami. Our flight plan will involve departing Princess Juliana Airport on runway 10, which requires immediate right turn because of the terrain on the island. So we will be following Bravo Oscar Papa Alpha Tango 2 departure, and it's essentially heading west to Miami. From there on, over Puerto Rico we will turn slightly to the northwest, west-northwest mostly, across the Caribbean, over the Bahamas, and then a northwest turn to land in Miami. Currently expecting landing on runway 26 right. The winds are out of the west in Miami. I know most of the year, those of you who have been to Miami see departures and landings to the east, but we'll be going to the west, which will make the flight a lot more direct in that sense. So yeah, we will be landing on 26 right, and then we'll be heading over to the American Airlines terminal, which is Concourse D essentially. We have great weather here in St. Marteen. And I intended to make a bucket list check, personal check, by going here one day and hanging out at Maho Beach and seeing the landings. Maho Beach is on the threshold of runway 10, and yeah, if you look up at those YouTube videos of people, some people I guess are competing for some Darwin awards by holding onto the fence and feeling the jet blast from a departing aircraft. And it's also really interesting how low the aircraft fly over Maho Beach on approach. So yeah, hopefully very soon I'll get to do that. And here's what I was talking about, the runway 10 departure. You have all that terrain ahead of us, so we gotta make an immediate right turn. And we'll prepare here with our checklists. We start with pre-flight. Oxygen test at 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches normal auto. Window heat on. Pressurization mode selector set to auto. Flight instruments initial heading will be 096. Current altimeter 1014. Get the parking brake set, and let me make a quick track IR adjustment here so I can look down. Okay, parking brake is set, and the engine start levers are cut off. Pre-flight checklist complete.
Juliana Ground American 738, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
Before start checklist, flight deck door closed and locked. Fuel pumps are on. Windows are locked. MCP V2 150 knots, heading 096. Our final cruise will be flight level 360. And I want to double check if it's a final cruise or a... Okay, we have a max of 384, so we'll eventually step to 380. There are no altitude restrictions on departure, so I'm going to do a continuous climb to our initial flight level 360, and in 194 nautical miles we will step to flight level 380. Our takeoff speeds are set. Our CDU preflight is completed. Rudder aileron trim free and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing is completed, and anti-collision light is on. So before start, checklist complete.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for push and start, tail to the right. Copy that, ready for push, tail right. Release brake, please.
Julie on the ground, American 2478 requesting pushback.
Brakes released.
American 2478 pushback request accepted.
Brakes released, here we go.
Okay, starting number 2. To our left is the real Miami flight. So there'll be 2 flights to Miami in this simulation. And hopefully we can beat him to the runway.
Julie on the ground, JetBlue 788 requesting pushback. JetBlue 788 pushback request accepted.
Another South Florida bound aircraft. The JetBlue will probably be going to its hub in Fort Lauderdale. And starting number 1.
2478 requesting the end of pushback. American 2478 request to end pushback received. Julie on the ground.
Oh, and let's not forget fueling center.
With Alpha ready to taxi IFR.
I fly a lot of short segments, so when I fly a longer one, I usually forget that fueling center switch. So that's why it's better to just turn off all the fuel pumps and then just wait for a warning that you don't need fuel in the center. Okay, so I guess the Airbus will beat us to the runway. That's fine.
Taxiing hold short runway 10 via taxiway Alpha American 2478. Julie on the ground, JetBlue 788 requesting the end of pushback. JetBlue 788 request to end pushback received. Julie on the ground, JetBlue 788 with Alpha ready to taxi IFR. JetBlue 788 taxi to and hold short of runway 10 using taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Julie on the ground, American
Before
738
taxi,
with Alpha
generators
taxi
on,
to the active
probe
reporting
heat
straight out.
on,
American 738 taxi
NTIs
and hold
off,
short of runway
ISO
10
valve
using
auto.
taxiway Alpha.
Start switches continuous, recall checked.
118.7 when ready.
Auto brake RTO. Levers idle detent.
Taxiing hold
Flight
short
control.
runway 10 via taxiway Alpha JetBlue 788.
Checked. Ground equipment is clear. Before taxi, checklist complete.
Brake set. Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip release from guidance on the
American
left.
738, did you hear my last transmission?
Taxiing hold short runway 10 via taxiway Alpha American 738.
Okay, we have a hot cabin warning. I'm gonna turn up the packs. Shouldn't affect my takeoff. Have flaps 10. I don't have a full plane. Until the temperature warning comes off. It'll probably be as we get higher. Okay, I think we are ready for taxi. Also go over takeoff. Flaps are 10. And the trim is 3.65 units before takeoff checklist complete. This version of Princess Juliana Airport is created by Asobo, so it basically comes with the simulator. The best recreation of this airport is Flight Tampa from the FSX and the P3D days. But still, this stock version has very good details. So yeah, it's not bad at all. Okay, let's go ahead and stop here and get... Oh, look at this takeoff sequence. AI is a little bit confused here. Alright, let's see what the tower is up to.
Juliana Tower American 738 ready at runway 10 straight out departure.
American 738 altimeter 29er, full wind 134 at 5. Straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 10.
Cleared for takeoff runway 10 American 738.
Okay, yeah, that's not the most realistic takeoff sequence. I think the American Airlines flight just simply disappeared, and now JetBlue is still waiting there. Okay, so he'll probably disappear too. In the meantime, we prepare for runway entry. Landing lights on. Flashing strobe. Use terrain radar for takeoff so you can see what's ahead of us. And we'll get our TCAS. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, any day now, JetBlue. Yeah, I really want this ATC interface and also the way it interacts with AI to get better with time. I know it will, but sometimes it's a little bit strange how ATC and AI aircraft act on the simulator. Yeah, JetBlue's still waiting there. I'll stay behind JetBlue so we don't get... I maintain distance, in other words. So obviously I have enough runway room, but also so we don't get blasted. So in the meantime, here is Maho Beach. This is the first time I've seen the Microsoft recreation of the Asobo recreation of Maho Beach and the airport itself. It doesn't look bad at all. Like I said, it's on my bucket list, hopefully soon. Most of the flights from North America and Europe start coming in after midday, and it's also very dependent on tourist season. So once December, January hit, you're gonna have a lot of tourism here, especially people up north, Northern Europe and North America in general, wanting to get away from the cold weather. Okay, so now we're back to American Airlines being in front of us. Okay, so I'll probably just gonna ignore the American Airlines A319 there, and we're just gonna take off. He's not even lined up with the runway. I don't know what he's trying to do. And we have an inbound JetBlue, so let's get going.
JetBlue 1877 Juliana Tower. Altimeter 29er for wind 134 at 5. Cleared visual runway 10 approach.
Okay, so here's the terrain I was talking about.
Cleared visual runway 10 approach JetBlue 1877.
The highest point is 1,400 feet. I think our airplane is actually powerful enough to clear it, but you obviously want to watch out for turbulence coming from the ridges. So it's definitely safer for everyone to just make an immediate right turn. Okay, here we go. I'm going to turn on a timer. We're expecting almost 2 hours in the air, and mainly because we're going to have headwinds most of the way. So takeoff. Stable engines. Toga. Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
JetBlue 1877 wind 134 at 5. Cleared to land runway 10. American 738 leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Juliana Tower American 738 frequency change.
Cleared to land runway.
Flaps 5. I'm going to go ahead and arm LNAV VNAV, but I want to keep it on manual for a while here. Flaps 1. Flaps up. After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds on, packs auto. Landing gear up and off. Flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete. and we restored cooler in the cabin, so we are good to go there. Okay, so we're outside of the US, so passing 7,000 feet, we can go ahead and switch to standard altimeter. And let's make sure the plane is actually climbing, not leveling off. Okay, passing 10,000, lights off. And now we'll engage the autopilot, so Command A. And there is St. Marteen in the background. I mentioned this before, I really enjoy scenic departures and approaches, especially with this nice weather. And St. Marteen definitely ranks up there with scenic locations. So we'll pause here and resume during descent into the Miami area. Okay, passing 8,500 feet, on our way down to 3,000 feet. Already went over the descent checklist into Miami. Weather remains clear, winds out of the west. Still expecting to land on runway 26 right. Flaps 1.
You are 400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 310. Climb and maintain flight level 310 French West 1641.
Flaps 5. Gear down. I have control. Flaps 10. Flaps 15.
Miami Tower American 738 is 6 miles east,
That's
1,800
25.
feet with Sierra to land.
American 738 Miami Tower. Altimeter 29.908, wind 287 at 5. Fly straight in runway 26 right. American 738 wind 287 at 5. Clear to land runway 26 right.
Clear to land runway 26 right, American 738.
Flaps 30. Landing check is complete.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums. 100.
Miami Tower Delta 2301 ready for IFR departure runway 27.
20.
Delta 2301 altimeter 29.908 wind 287 at 5. Cleared for takeoff runway
Speed brake up.
27.
Reverse green.
Cleared for takeoff runway 27 Delta 2301.
Manual braking. $60 knots.
American 738 exit runway when able. American 738 contact ground on 129.0.
One two niner decimal 0 American 738.
Okay to clean up. I have a YouTube video where I got to sit in the jump seat of a BBJ landing on the same approach. That was definitely a memorable experience to be able to sit with a 737 NG crew, talk a little bit about the airplane, how they execute the approach.
Miami departure on 119.7.
Definitely enjoyable.
Good day.
And Miami is kind of the place where I probably lived the longest. So I consider, even though I travel a lot and I move around a lot, I consider South Florida to be my home. So it's always really nice to land here. And the realism is incredible. The credit for this airport design goes to Ricardo Morillo. He manages Latin VFR, so if you have their sceneries, you're very familiar with the high quality. And now he's delving into the aircraft development on the Airbus series, so lots of luck to him. And I also got the static aircraft package from Latin VFR, as well as the Aorus, which actually paints the ground vehicles in schemes that are more true to the region they happen to be in. So the ones here will have a lot of North American companies for towing, baggage handling, catering, those kind of things. So that's pretty cool too. That just gives the airport, the scenery, a lot more realism. It's October 17th and it's 24 degrees Celsius in Miami. That's pretty rare. Growing up in South Florida, the cool weather begins to arrive in November, so I'm sure a lot of South Floridians are getting a nice break from the typical heat that still persists this time of year. Okay, I think I'm gonna just park here next to one of my fellow 737-800s. So gate Delta 14. And let's see where 737 marking is. Okay, they don't have one. Okay, so parking brake. Brake set. Cutoff. APU generators. Seatbelts off. Window heat off. Pitot heat off. Hydraulic set. Anti-collision off.
Ground American 738, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
American 738, the jetway is going to be connected.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off. Probe heat off. Hydraulic set. Flaps up. Parking brake off. Engine start levers cut off. Weather radar off. Shutdown checklist complete. Secure checklist. IRS off. Emergency exit lights off. Window heat off. Packs off. Secure checklist complete. Okay, welcome to sunny Miami. This was pretty much perfect weather from St. Martin all the way to here. Very beautiful day, beautiful afternoon. It's almost, it's getting close to sunset. We are in October, so the days are getting shorter here, also in South Florida, not just parts further up north. So as usual, thank you for watching. Thank you for comments and feedback, and we will see you very soon. Happy flights.